I bet you're wondering how we got into this mess. Well, it's a long story, and people usually tune me out if I start talking for more than a couple sentences, but I'm the only one left alive to tell it, so I guess it's gotta be me. Well, right after we struck it rich from our last adventure at the Temple of Doom, my best friends, Blotas Piss, Patrick Yoda, and Ray William Johnson went their separate ways. I still worked as their assistant, although I don't recall being paid, but I managed their affairs after they got so rich from the last adventure. I tried to call them, but they must have been really busy because they never picked up, except for one time they called me and told me they were all hanging out and I wasn't invited. I saw them hanging in Matrix 2 one time too, I think, but when I said hi, they told me that they were just illusions and I never knew them, and I should probably go to an insane asylum because I seemed so crazy, stupid, and ugly. So I did my own thing for a bit. I became a producer for XXX Contacion, formerly known as Hussy Kitsune, and made enough tokens that I could afford to move back to Gun City and rent a 5x5-foot luxury condo in the Lockheed Martin district. After about a year of living back in GC, I was invited to a charity event for the Papichuco's Techno Slime Addiction Treatment and Recovery Center by my cousin Giancarlo. He done well for himself since we last saw him. Partnered with Gary C. Enterprise on a huge expansion of hot soda, cold dogs restaurants. And felt like giving back after being a Techno Slime pusher for so long. Of course, the charity was under Papichuco's Techno Slime Corporation, so I didn't know how much good it could do, but I figured it'd be nice to go to an event. Maybe I'll make some friends. The event took place at the Belle Delphine Wonder Bread event space in Palantir HQ District. So it was a bit of a drive for me, but boy did that venue impress.
And the venue itself is a single-floor venue with a well-kept lobby area, warm and red in tone, with sparks of sleepy golds and yellows, contrasted with a super linoleum flooring that spills out into the main event hall where things get interesting. Sheets of neon shoot through the floor, creating like dimensions and liminality as you move through it. Colors gently shift between Pantone favorites, and you hear tinny high-pass versions of inoffensive music snake up through the floor. Different tracks loop at different points in the venue, sort of like you're moving from the restaurant floor to the restaurant bathroom. You know, a Sade joint fading out as the sounds and smells of Uptown Girl fade in. But it's all in the same open space. Otherwise, it's a pretty fairly standard, architecture for a venue. High ceilings, Baroque chandeliers, simple stage, raised red curtain. There are worm servers and chefs that move quickly in and out of the kitchen, dressed in their party-down get-ups, taking the traditional abuse they deserve. Sullivan walks in and is barreled down by a few of these worms, but he recognizes the catering company to be Jamal DeWorm's Wormhole Catering. The program for tonight is as follows. The keynote speakers, Giancarlo the Bullfrog and Gary C. Enterprise, followed by a performance from Cream 3, the Jeff Tiedridge, Filipino Mr. Bean, and Ray William Johnson's Worm Band, followed by closing remarks from the head